Okay, we're back. At this point, we've got the vertices around Holli, and I'm in edit mode, so we'll tab out. And I took out all the materials because I'm going to show you what nodes that we're going to need in order to get Holli to glow. So we're going to start off first. We're going to go Shift A and add a emission shader. We'll put that in, and this is for material output. And then we'll go Mix Shader. And we'll go Mix Shader right there. And we'll add emission to shader and shader to surface. And then we're going to go, we need a glossy shader in there. Shader, glossy. There we go. And this goes there. And we'll put roughness at 0. Oh, come on. There we go. And 0.362. And we're going to change the color here in the emissions. We don't want white. I want to go out a nice blue. So we'll go, oh, looks about right. Let me see what we got here. Oh, that's too dark. I don't want a purple. Try it again. Okay, try this again. There we go. About like that, something like that. That'll be good. Okay, so then we've got that set up with the vertices around Holli. So let's go and take a look at the layers that are going to be rendered. So you've got 4 layers, and so let's bounce over there. And I've got these set up already in the scene. We're gonna blow these out, I think. We're gonna go here and rename this scene. And that's going to be on layers 1, 2, 3, and we're going to render there. And then we're going to add another layer, and we're going to we'll call this Lady Glow. And we're going to go just in render layer 4 on that one. And so that should set up the scenes. That's all you got to do. And so then we're going to go into, let me look at my notes here. That's image texture, that's for that one. Let me look here once. Alpha mask, we're already there. Okay, so then we're going to go into the compositing. And we're going to go into the node editor here. Let me go here. And I took out all the nodes again, so I want to walk through all the nodes you're going to need to render this, so that the reason why we go into layers is that if you go back, let me go back to 3D view again, and rendered. If you go back and render the view, I want her to glow, and if we render it all on one layer, everything's going to glow and be blurred, and I did that the first go around. And so it has to be put on different layers. So we're going to go into compositing. We're in compositing here now. And so that's why we had two different scenes that we're going to render. And this is what we're going to set up here now on this setup. So let's go into the nodes, node editor. And I took everything out except for the composite and the viewer, and that will drop in automatically. And we'll go ahead and set up the render layers. So let's start here. Go Shift A, search. I need to punch in render. There we go, render layers. And I'm going to bring this up full screen so we can see it a little better. We'll move over here. So you got render layers, and you got the scene first, and then we're going to duplicate this. Bring another one down, but this one here, it's telling me we're rendering the scene first, and that's everything but the glow. And then this next one, we're going to go and render Lady Glow, and then you'd see just a little outline of it in this view. So this is what the first two we need. And let me look at my notes here. So then we're going to put a blur in here. So Shift A, filter, blur. And that's there. And fast Gaussian. There we go, that looks right. So we go image to image. And then we're going to duplicate this guy again. Shift, duplicate. Oops. Shift B. There we got it. And we'll go fast Gaussian again, which is fine. And we'll go image to image again. And we're going to do some settings in here. We need the X and Y. We want this one here. Let me see if I can get her to click. There we go. 150. And the Y 150. And the lower one we want it at 15. And the Y at 15. Okay. So then we go, we're going to create RGB curves. Let's go here. Let's do a search here. RGB curves. There we go. So we need one there. Let's duplicate that again because we're going to need two of them. And we'll add image to image again. And let's go image to image here. And I'm going to punch in some numbers here to get these dialed in just right. So we're going to go, there we go. You can see the numbers change, but I want to dial in some numbers here. So we're going to go here, 0.41938, and this one, 0.59375. So that's that one. And the bottom one, we're going to do same thing. We're going to go 0.4136 and 0.58036. Okay, so that's there. So then we're going to go shader. Let's see, you go input. Then we want to go mix shader. That's the wrong one. We don't want that. Shift A. Filter. Yeah. I have such a time with finding these guys sometimes. Let's try this. Let's go mix. There we go. Mix. There we go. So this one we're going to do, the reason why I had to get the mix, we're going to change this. We're going to change this to screen. So we're going to click this button here and go screen. And we're going to need a couple of them. So we're going to just duplicate it again. Shift D. Like that. So we're going to bring this up. And we're going to go image here to there and image to there. And then tie these two together. Image to image. And then we're going to put in a glare node on top of this. Shader. Let's see, I think it's under color. No. Filter. There it is. Glare. So we want a glare node. And we're going to tie that all the way back to render here. So we're going to come here, all the way image, all the way down to there. And it kind of crosses up, but we'll get hooked up all right. Let's move this guy down here. There, that looks a little better. There, okay. Just like so. Okay, so we got a glare node in there. And so we're going to add image to image again. And we're going to need another screen duplicate here, mix, shift duplicate. Bring that up here. And we'll go image to image there. I'm going to move these guys up because we're going to be pretty close. Let's scoot him over here. I think we'll put him about there instead. So now you're going to tie in the scene with the glare, with the glow around her. So we go image to image, right there. And then we're going to go screen. We're going to go image to image here and image to image there. And we're going to put one more thing in here. We're going to put in a brightness and contrast. So we're going to go, let me think what we've got to find this. This is under, there we go. Color, you're under color, brightness, and contrast. So I'm going to stick that there and go 1.0 and contrast at 2.0. Okay, so that all ties it in. Let's go in here and go backdrop. And there we go. There's our lady. And it looks about right. Let me double check these numbers. Fast Gaussian. Oh, okay. We got one more change we got to make down here on the streaks down in glare. So down here we got streaks in medium. Iterations should be 5, 4, 5, and color mods should be 0. And we'll go mix at 1.0, and then we go threshold. That should be at 0. Streak should be at 7. And there we're looking a lot better. You can see it already with Haley here. She's Holli here. It looks a lot better. It looks more like what I had rendered originally. So that should be it, I think. Let's go and that's all your nodes. Let's go back to previous. And I'm going to go ahead and render this. Let me go back to here to default. And let's go down here. So I'm going to render this, and then I'll be back, and hopefully we'll be right on track. And then I'll give you a little more information about Holli, the setup, and what's going to be on the posting for this. For the material for the perimeter of Holli, where it was all lit up in blue, I changed that strength to 2 instead of, I had it at 1 here, and it needed to be at 2 to give it a nice brightness. And you could change that. You could go a lot higher if you want. It depends on what look you're going after. Another thing that I wanted to mention too was in the beginning I had pulled up this picture of Holli, and I was lucky enough to have this just as you see it with no background at all. And a lot of times maybe the image that you want to be a hologram is a person that you know, and you want to get rid of the backgrounds. So I'll have to track that down online to see if I can find a tutorial for GIMP on how to remove the background. And if so, then you could remove the background and go directly to this image where it's all black instead of white. So it actually may save you a step, because like I said, I was fortunate enough to find a white background and to create the final image that you see here. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I'll try to post everything online on my blog, all the nodes, settings, images, and this video. I'll splice it all together for you. And so hope you enjoyed it, and hope you learned something. I know I did. A lot of interesting stuff here. So we'll see you again next time, and hopefully we'll have something new in Blender, or if not, in the workshop itself. So have a good one.